So the amazing thing about America is that it's always been an island of normality, distant from any other troubles going on in the world. So whether it be communism, the Russian Revolution, whether it be World War II, World War One, all the wars in Asia, it's always been by itself relatively unscathed. Now, when we talk about the Muslim invasion of Europe, so it's taken over all of Europe. All parties now pander to Muslim votes because they are 25% in France. Forget this, their stupid census lying statistics. In France, they're about 25%. In the UK, they're about 20%. And they pander to those votes now. So that's it. They're beholden totally to the Muslim bloc voting. Also, they're very good because they bloc vote. Most of these people are dumb and stupid, can't read even English. And actually yesterday, the UK opposition leader visited a mosque because he relies on Muslim votes, right? So he visited a mosque and he wanted to show, I'm with the Muslims and all that, because he said a kind of pro-Israel statement, so they all went mad. So he said, I'm going to go and visit a mosque, all right? He goes, he visits. The Imam can't speak a word of English, can't read English, can't write English, nothing. British citizen, can't read or speak a word of English. Oh, how did he pass his test, you would ask? How do you pass it? Because all fraud's all done in the mosque. It's all fraud. The mosque is the basis for all the lies and cheating going on. So anyway, this Imam comes in, can't speak a word of English. He's on benefits. The government's paying for him. He doesn't work, obviously not. And he's obviously preaching hatred, 100%. This is a South Wales mosque. And obviously he didn't know who the guy was. So the head of the opposition in the UK walking in this mosque, and the Imam and the people around him, it's not just the Imam, they're all dumb as each other. You're dealing with really thick and stupid people. You have to remember, they're not, they're thick. So this guy's walking in, and they're like, "Well, white guy, suit, all right." And then left. And that is the UK now. And so he's trying to pander to these people who don't even know who he is, but will vote for him because, again, it just goes through a central guy in the mosque who takes all the postal ballots and fills it in for them. That's how it works. So anyway, so in America, they think they're free from this. Let me show you America now. I hope you've seen how bad the US has been now. I remember 20 years ago, it was even very difficult to find any Muslims in America. There were virtually none. Maybe a few hot dog stands in New York. That's all I could remember. None, basically none. And now, as you can see, they're already starting. And by the way, I would say more aggressive and more violent than Europe, where you had 100,000 in London last weekend, to probably have another this weekend. But the Muslim leaders around them have told them, guys, you cannot shout what we tell you in the mosque. You can't shout jihad. You can't shout death to Jews and stuff. You cannot do that. So that's why they're all around telling them at the protest, guys, I know you want to kill people on the street, but you're not allowed to because it's a bad name. So at least there, these guys have kind of got it. In the US, they're just insane people, right? So I don't know what to tell you. So it's much, much worse there. And remember, the percentage is much lower in the US. I think there must only be like 3%, 4%, very small amount of the US population is Muslim. But think about where you're going to go to. You're going to get to ridiculous levels. And let's just see the fear and aggression. You know, racism, the whole thing of racism was no one cared about before World War II. After the Holocaust, suddenly racism became a thing, right? Oh, you know, because we can't look at this persecuted minority. They got killed because of doing it. So the Jews were the basis, yet they're still being persecuted while misgendering somebody, using the wrong pronouns, ridiculous stupidities, calling a man, absolute microaggression stupidities. That is serious. So it spawned from the Jews to all these crazy BLM and all this stupidity, right? Kneeling and all this crap built around the Jews. But the Jews are still persecuted as much, if not more, than Germany. You have to realize Germany, 1936, that's where we are now. Remember, there wasn't even J put up on the German passports until 1937. They were pretty much, 1936, Hitler was in power 3 years already. They were free to go about. They went to the German schools still. They still worked jobs. They still, you know, their businesses weren't shut. It was kind of normal, right? Obviously, there was hatred on the street and from the government, but generally okay. That is where we are nowadays in the world. It is Germany in 1936 for Jews. Madness. And it won't be later till the Muslims become their 20-25% now in Europe. I say another 10 years, we're going to get to about 35-40% in like Germany, France, UK, Holland. Once they're then, game over. It's like Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a majority Christian country. They allowed the PLO to come in. They destabilized the whole country, caused a civil war. Once you have a civil war, Muslims murder left, right, and center, as we've seen in Israel, babies, kids, they don't care. Jihad doesn't have anything, so they just murder. And now it is a 20% Christian country, and there are actually more Muslims in the UK than in Lebanon. Even though Lebanon now is majority Muslim, so just tell you that's how bad Lebanon is. The UK has more Muslims than Lebanon, and that's the official statistic, not the real statistic, which is double that. So yeah.